Broadcasting live from the tournament grounds on the plain of Eldraine, this is Tap Tap Concede. Hello everyone, welcome to episode, I don't know what number it is, of Tap Tap Concede. I don't know, like 688, let's say. That's wrong. Hi Cam, how's it going?
Very good, James. Did you know that due to the divine right of kings, that any grounds on the plain of Eldraine can be turned into the tournament grounds?
I did not.
Neither did I.
But now we all know.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I just made that up.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tap Tap this week. It's me and Cam, and we're going to talk about Eldraine because it just came out. I pointed for anybody listening at a pre-release kit that we're going to crack and talk about because it's Eldraine season. So let's have some fun and talk about Eldraine. But first off, this podcast, along with all of our stuff, is brought to you by you over at Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun.
Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Way to go. You did this.
And the fine folks over at cardkingdom.com, a kingdom of cards. They sponsor specifically this podcast and our Magic streams, and we love them and we use them, and they've been helping us out for many, many years now. I think easily our longest running sponsorship deal with anybody that we've worked with over the years. As I said, we use them. We love them. You should too. Make sure to type in /LRR at the end of cardkingdom.com. That will apply the affiliate code. It means when you go through the order process and buy something, they will know that you came because of us. And that helps us out immensely. So if you are in the need for singles or sealed product, if you live within the United States, or card boxes and sleeves and binders and dice and all that stuff, you can find over at cardkingdom.com. At the end of the order, make sure to say Card Kingdom sent me, Loading Ready Run sent me button, please. And you'll get one of our little fancy 1-inch pins. They're super cute. I don't know what the current one says. It's a surprise. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could be anything. It could even be a boat.
It could be a boat.
Probably won't be a boat.
Cannot guarantee it will not be a boat.
True story. We are recording this episode on Friday, September 27th, which means it is pre-release weekend for the Throne of Eldraine. So I hope that you're listening to this. You had fun this past weekend. I hope you opened well. I hope you played well. I hope you won lots of games. And I hope you like the set. It's a fun set. Yeah. I have enjoyed it so far. It came out on Arena yesterday, and I did 2 sealed events, one that I don't want to talk about, and the other that I'm currently 4 games in and 4-0 with this just ludicrous blue-black control draw deck.
Ooh.
It's so good.
I look forward to hearing about this.
Yeah, it's a real good deck. But we'll talk more about our play on Arena later. For now, we thought it would be fun. Every time we do a pre-release, obviously we get the proper pre-release kits. I get one too. But obviously I don't need to use it for the pre-release, so normally I just hold on to them. But I thought I would open this one this week because it would be fun, and we get to open some packs of Eldraine and go over what we think our first picks would be. We also have something that we opened, I believe, last week on the episode. We have another one of these. This is the Throne of Eldraine Premium Promo Pack, which I believe you can get via gaming at your local game store.
Yeah, the last one we opened was super spicy.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
I don't know, maybe you want to open it at the end?
You want to open it at the end?
Maybe that's building it up too much. I don't know. Maybe this one won't be good.
It's fine. It's fine.
There was like a Garrick and stuff in the last one.
Okay, we're going to be... I hate opening these 3-card packs because you can't get...
You should let me open it then.
Oh, okay. Well, that was... Okay, fine. You know what, Cameron? Get out of here. Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay. Congratulations. I found a code.
Ooh.
Okay.
Up, down, down.
Hey, look. It's our friend, Marauding Raptor. I don't know if that's even going to show up. This is from M20. 1 and a red for a 2/3 dinosaur. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to it. If a dinosaur is dealt damage this way, Marauding Raptor gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
Seems fair.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I mean, it's a 2/3 for 3, which is sweet. I don't know if this...
2/3 for 2.
2/3 for 2, yeah, sorry. I don't know if this actually saw any reasonable play. Did it? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess Ixalan's gone now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Ixalan is bye-bye. So no more dinosaurs, except for a few. Then we have Kenrith's Transformation. This is in every one of these packs. So the pack comes with 3 cards. One of them is always this. The card that you're seeing on the overlay is the regular version. You get a pretty fancy foily version. But for 1 and a green, you have an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, and enchanted creature loses all abilities and is green elk creature with base power and toughness 3/3. So it's a removal spell. There's the proper version if you're watching. So it's a removal spell for their big bomb. Maybe it turns your dork into a 3/3 that allows you to swing in for lethal. Either way, you get to draw a card. This card seems sweet. And I'm probably always going to play it in a green-based deck in Eldraine.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the, there's the white enchantment that works kind of like ethereal armor. Or is ethereal armor, essentially. +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. Or aura.
Yeah. Plus, elk.
Yeah. Who doesn't love elk?
This was not as good.
Oh.
Folio of Fancies.
Fancy.
I don't even know what this card does.
I've never seen this before.
1 and a blue for an artifact. Players have no maximum hand size.
Commander.
XX tap. Each player draws X cards. Or 2 and a blue tap. Each opponent puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hand from the top of their library into their graveyard.
Seems like a commander card.
Yeah. This seems... I honestly have never seen this card. I thought I'd swear I'd looked through the spoilers and known exactly what was in the set, but apparently not. This card seems very bad, in limited at least.
Yeah.
I don't think
I love to draw my opponent's cards in limited for XX.
Yeah, the mill that requires you to allow you to like give your opponent a bunch of cards is a little tricky.
I assume that there's probably some kind of basically prison deck, or not prison deck, some kind of heavily taxed deck in Commander.
Yeah.
That where your opponents don't get to play cards.
That's fair. All right.
And they want this.
Let's keep opening packs.
I like opening packs.
Yeah, so do I. It's fun. You'd think after all these years and all these packs, I'd be bored of it. But I'm not.
It's like a little rush of endorphins every time you collapse that randomness. Really?
Garrick, Cursed Huntsman. Okay, so now I'm annoyed as the producer of the PPR knowing that we had a pre-release kit with Garrick, Cursed Huntsman in it. And it could have gone to one of us, but it went to me instead. Oh well. It's foil. It's got a date.
Go,
it's
James.
lovely. Anyways, 4 black green for a 5 loyalty planeswalker Garrick. 0, create 2 black, green, and black and green wolf creature tokens with when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garrick you control. So this is the only way on the card, at least. There are other cards, obviously, that could get counters on your planeswalker, but there's no plus ability on this Garrick. This is how you tick up Garrick, because -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control get +3/+3 and have trample. So if you can play this Garrick, 0 2 2/2s, and if you can get one of those things off the battlefield, specifically when it dies. So if it gets exiled, you don't get that trigger, but then all of a sudden you can get an overrun emblem.
Yeah.
Which is just absurd.
Yeah. Like an emblem for overrun.
Yeah.
An emblem for overrun.
Yeah. It's very good. This card, I really, really look forward to playing with this card in limited at some point.
In Commander or whatever, you play the 5 Garrick's deck.
Yeah.
5 Garrick's deck. I mean, I love planeswalkers in limited. They're fun, they're splashy. You generally feel good and win with them, and when they get played against you, you generally lose, but it doesn't happen, in my opinion and experience, often enough where I get burnt out on them.
Yeah.
So
like, how do you beat this? right? Like your opponent plays this, makes
It's
2/2/2s.
really hard.
You can't attack into it really.
It protects itself. I have to believe about as good as any planeswalker in the world history of Magic has ever done, because both of its top abilities protect it.
Yeah.
Its 0 creates 2 creatures to protect it, and even if you're just playing this as a 6-mana destroy target creature, draw a card, and if you can by some miracle keep it alive for one more turn and then just 0 it and get extra value off of this thing, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because like you play it, you destroy any evasive creature your opponent has.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you just pray that it survives, because then next turn you just start making wolves and protecting it even more. So yeah, I think this is, I feel like in limited terms, this has to be one of the strongest planeswalkers that I have seen in a while, and definitely one of just my favorite design planeswalkers I've seen in a long while. So in the realm of the like 4 Garriks or 5 Garriks or whatever it would be, it makes me sad that him getting the loyalty is a function of the token and not just like when a wolf
when a wolf dies?
When a wolf dies or when a wolf token dies, because the other Garriks also make wolf tokens.
Yeah.
Right? But they're not they're not the wolves that Garrick really cares about.
No.
Yeah.
They're just like random other wolves.
Yeah, there's other. Yeah,
fair. All right,
they're not his pack.
let's start cracking in, and maybe sort of in the back of the mind we can start pretending that this would have been our sealed pool, and we can build around it a little bit. Moving on though. First up, we have Fortifying Provisions. It's 2 and a white for an enchantment. Creatures you control get +0/+1, and when it enters the battlefield, create a food token. This doesn't seem super great.
Yeah, I had this in my pre-release and I didn't play it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe Eldraine is just slow enough where, like, hunkering down behind this works.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really help you win the game. It just
well, that's the thing, is that in the little bit I've played over the last couple days, it definitely can be a pretty grindy format, just because of the creature matchups and because of the food. And this just makes those creature matchups even more annoying by giving yourself an extra toughness across the board.
Yeah.
And only toughness. But it gives you a food token.
Yeah. Like 5/1/1s versus like 5/1/2s is a huge difference in terms of amount of damage they can soak.
the white creatures in the set have very low toughness, though.
Yes.
Right, and all the aggressive creatures have very low toughness. So I'm not sure this ever actually saves any of your creatures, because there's a lot of like 2/1s.
Yep.
Right, a lot of 3/1s.
I mean, it makes,
or at least it feels like that.
I guess putting this in the night deck, whether you're red-white, black-white, or just straight up Mardu, it just gives your knights just that little bit of extra toughness to break through the line, maybe. But again, at 3 mana, I just don't think it does enough. So moving on, though, we have Moonlit Scavengers. This is a 6 mana 4/5 Merfolk Rogue, cast for 5 and a blue. When it enters a battlefield, if you control an artifact or enchantment, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand.
Mana War's been getting more and more expensive.
Yeah, so this is a incredibly expensive but far more powerful in terms of stats Mana War. This is actually in that black-blue deck that I mentioned at the top of the show that I'm currently playing on Arena. I just have the one. In terms of this being at the top end, I don't actually mind it. I have enough enchantments and artifacts that I can generally pretty easily get the effect off of this creature. And even at 6 mana, and especially because it's a 4/5, I mean, bouncing an opponent's creature is just never bad, right? And it has proven to be working fairly well. But you're right, it's a very expensive Mana War, right? Whereas Mana War is a 2/2 for 3. Yeah. This is a 4/5 for 5 and a blue, and blue creatures don't normally get this big. So I think it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play it definitely, but like, interesting.
Yep.
As famously happened during the PPR, make sure there are a couple of clauses in this. Make sure you got to have the artifact enchantment. It only hits creatures, and it only hits your opponent's stuff.
Yeah, you can't bounce your own things.
So
from under like
Yeah,
pacifisms.
There's a couple of aspects of this that you want to make sure you're not going to goozle yourself on.
I mean, I think I'd almost prefer this to just be a 4/4 and get rid of that artifact enchantment clause. Like, just give me a one-sided mana war, but make it a 4/4 for 6. I think I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
And just knowing that you consistently can get that bounce effect. But
I mean, you're playing a deck with, like, it seems like in Eldraine especially, with food and everything, like the chances of you getting to 6 mana and not having an artifact or an enchantment at some point is pretty low.
Yeah, I guess the flavor is they use the artifact or enchantment to evict the other thing. So I kind of like the idea that they're like, cool, a pie.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, moving on. We have our first adventure card, Merchant of the Vale. It's a 2/3 human peasant for 2 and a red with the ability 2 and a red, discard a card, draw a card. I mean, off the bat, I'm going to play that card.
Yeah.
Red card advantage.
Well, this isn't card advantage.
Oh, I guess
Remember,
it's not. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're going down 2 cards to draw a card.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being said, I'm still playing this guy because this is my kind of magic.
Yeah. And then it also has the adventure, which for 1 and a red casts Haggle. Sorry, just 1 red.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Casts Haggle. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So it has the same, essentially the same thing.
Sorry, yeah, I was commenting on, I thought we were talking about the adventure first. But yeah, his activated ability doesn't tap him.
Nope.
He's a 2/3.
Yep.
Not the best body, but I mean, I played the guy from Innistrad, the Prophet.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Kind of fills the same slot, although fewer graveyard shenanigans in this set than in Innistrad. But yeah, I like everything on this card. I want to play this in the Iron Crag Pyromancer deck.
Yeah, I mean, this fits super well at home in the there's the Mad Prophet. This fits super well in the blue-red draw 2 card.
Yep.
Draw 2 card deck, which is a lot of fun. So next up, we got some pretty decent black removal in Festive Funeral. For 4 and a black, you get an instant. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. This is another card that is currently in that blue-black deck of mine, and I am a fan of this card. Instant speed removal, especially debuff removal, I am a big fan of. Obviously, conditional in terms of how many cards are in your graveyard, but cards get in your graveyard, especially in limited, right? Cards just end up in your graveyard. So, and so I'm going to play this all the time.
Right. Like, this is the common black removal. And that's fine.
Yeah. All right. Curious Pair. This is another adventure card. For 1 and a green, you get a 1/3. Or Treats to Share is the adventure side. Sorcery. For 1 green, create a food token. I don't think this card is good. I mean, just, yeah, it, like, creating a food token, sure, cool, fine, whatever. I am never excited to cast a 1/3. Like, they don't do anything. Sure, they can block and gum up the ground a little bit, but
I don't think that's really what a green deck ever really wants to be doing.
No, like, green deck does not want to cast a vanilla 1/3 for 2. That, I mean, even if this was a 1/3 for 2, that when it entered the battlefield you gain 2 life. Yeah, like, maybe I'd play that card now. Like, okay, I'll take that incidental life gain, but this is a lot more. And yeah, just not that great. So
yeah, I'm not impressed. Maybe there's some kind of limited deck that wants this.
Yeah,
but I'd rather fill it with a creature that does stuff.
Agreed. Cam, what's this one called?
Brimstone Trebucket.
What's it do?
It's a 1/3 for 2 and a red. It is an artifact creature wall with Defender and Reach. You can tap it to ping each opponent. Deal 1 damage to each opponent. It also has another line of text which reads, whenever a knight enters the battlefield under your control, untap Brimstone Trebucket.
So this kind of card we've seen several times. The type of card that comes in, it's a wall, it has Defender. it pings each opponent for 1, and whenever you cast a spell of some sort, it untaps it.
Yeah.
We've seen these before. I like it.
Yeah. Also, I know it's pronounced trebuchet.
Yes.
But no, it's not.
But yeah, no, I am a fan of these cards. It always gives you, especially in the decks where they sort of fit in, it feels like it gives you a little bit of extra reach. And by reach, I don't mean the keyword on the card. I actually mean like reach in terms of just getting that extra little bit of damage through.
Yep.
Because, red-based decks, especially these night decks, I could see fizzling out just as your opponent's getting down to single digits. So
Yeah, I think playing a knight is better than playing an instant or sorcery in most of these decks, right? In a limited deck that wants to be doing this, I think playing a knight is more impactful than cramming in an instant or sorcery that isn't necessarily advancing your board state.
yeah, fair. Next up, go for it.
Crashing Drawbridge. For 2 generic mana, you get an 0/4 artifact creature, Wall, with Defender. With the ability, tap. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn.
So I was not impressed when I first read this card. Then I realized that it's creatures,
Yep.
which makes it a little bit more interesting. I still don't know if it's actually any good. I love the idea of playing this card on 2 and then curving out in Magical Christmas Land and being like, okay, I'm going to play a 3-drop and then a 4-drop and then like a 2 and a 3 and just swing.
Yep.
Because that sounds great. But I think outside of that, again, Magical Christmas Land, it's like kind of whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there was the card in original Zendikar block that gave your creatures haste. It was a red wall. And that was okay.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is actually a lot better, but like, I don't feel that the deck that I want to play that has creatures that I want to give haste necessarily wants to be playing 0/4s.
That's fair.
Battle Rampart.
Battle Rampart. 2 and a red for a 1/3 defender. Target creature gains haste until end of turn. Or is that the...
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
It was reprinted in Battlebond.
Battlebond, yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Fair. Next up.
Tall as a beanstalk. 3 and a green, you get an aura. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3, has reach, and is a giant in addition to its other types. Oh, it's giant growth. I get it. Sure is. I don't know. I guess creatures in this format tend to be on the smaller side.
Yeah, I think that the removal is pretty decent in this format, that this is an instance of enchantment auras they're tricky, right? Like, there's a lot of upside to be gained from giving your creature +3/+3 in reach forever. But it's just when there's enough removal out there that's, stuff like baked into a pie, that's just 4 mana kill a creature. That's not the kind of format where I want to be playing just enchantment auras that aren't giving you like massive advantage. Like this turns a big creature into a bigger creature, or a small creature into a medium creature, which is great, but it can just so easily die. There's no trample.
Yeah, there's no evasion on this.
So a 1/1 can just block whatever this goes on all day. I don't think the giant subtype is all that relevant, but maybe I'm incorrect. But
it's a fun bit of flavor, but like yeah I think we can also take a note from the fairy tale and note that these things die.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up, Cam.
Weapon Rack. 4 generic mana, you get an artifact. Weapon Rack enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Tap, move a +1/+1 counter from Weapon Rack onto a target creature. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Oh, it's Serrated Arrows, only backwards.
Yeah. I went up against this last night and got kind of blown out by it, to be honest. Yeah. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but they were able to cast it and then use it for 3 turns and then recur it from their graveyard with something, I don't remember what, and then play it again and then use it for 3 more turns. And it was just like, man, every single turn you just get to put a +1/+1 counter on something, and that's tricky. Overall, I don't think it's actually like tremendously great.
But maybe if you're recurring this with Emery and sacrificing it.
That's what they were recurring. Yeah, Emery, that's what they were hitting it with. It was really annoying.
Yeah, like I think the lesson here is that Emery is good.
Yes.
Right? Because you can also use her with like Witching Well.
Yep.
And that deck sounds fun. And can probably use +1/+1 counters because it's going to be very small.
Yeah. All right, last common. Hit us up.
Barrow Witches, 4 and a black, human warlock. They are a 3/4. When Barrow Witches enters the battlefield, return target night card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah.
Taste the sweetness, breath for breath. Keep the balance, death for death.
I'm down with this card.
Yeah. It's kind of a Gravedigger.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a 5-mana 3/4 Gravedigger that only hits knights, but if you're playing a knights deck, then you're good to play this card. Mm-hmm.
In the same mode as the Merfolk Scavengers. We've seen this effect for cheaper with fewer restrictions on a smaller body.
Yeah. All right. Moving into the uncommons, we have Once and Future. For 3 and a green, you have an instant. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Put up to one other target card from your graveyard on the top of your library. Exile Once and Future. And has Adamant, which reads, if at least 3 green mana was spent to cast this spell, instead return those cards to your hand and exile it. So cast it for 3 and a green, get a card in your hand and put a card on the top of your library, or cast it for 1 green, and get both those cards into your hands. I think this card is great.
Yeah.
Graveyard Recursion in green is always fun. I am a big fan of Adamant as a mechanic. Mm-hmm. I found it to be pretty easy to cast the things that you want with Adamant, and occasionally you get stuck in a spot where you can't, but that's Magic, so sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's worth noting that if you don't cast it with Adamant, you're not losing out that much, because this is an instant you can cast it on their end step and just draw that card normally.
Yeah, exactly. Set up your next turn. Yeah,
because one thing I've noticed with Adamant cards is that you can psych yourself out with them, where you do get too intent on getting value out of Adamant, when maybe what you actually just need is the
I mean, it's the
spell
same
itself.
Same thing can be said for adventure cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you're gonna feel kind of bad about it, but sometimes you just gotta cast a creature.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, sometimes the Order of Midnight is fine as a 2/2 flyer.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So, all right, we've got Claim the Firstborn. This is a 1 red sorcery. Gain control of target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Obviously, we've seen many cards like this over the years. This is significantly cheaper. It's a sorcery, but it also hits CMC 3 or less. This is going to be one of those cards that could just win you the game, or it could be a card that just does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I tend to use these cards to steal something big, and I cannot do that with this.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, like, there is the sack outlet of the Artifact Oven in this set, which is fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Remember, don't forget, when you're done using this card, to just bake that creature right into some kind of pastry.
Okay. Uncommon, the last.
Ooh.
Hey, look.
Kenrith's Transformation.
This card we talked about earlier. I still like it. It's still fun.
See it earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, James, is there something you want to share with the class?
I'm so angry right now.
Oh! You can also see us talk about this earlier in the podcast. This is Garrick, Cursed Huntsman. A second Garrick, Cursed Huntsman.
Come on!
This is a sweet pool.
Yeah, this is a really good pool.
I mean, I'm happy because these are my cards.
The old double Garrick.
I'm sad because this would have been an amazing sealed deck for the PPR. Also,
the Garrick
Emblem. I don't think that's going to show up, right?
No.
Oh, hey, this.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah. If 2 Garricks just like meet in the woods, what happened? They just have like a grunting off.
I cannot believe that we hit Garrick in that first pack. Okay, so
You got 5 more Garricks in there, I guess.
I first picked Garrick if we're doing that. If Garrick is not in here,
I concur on the Garrick pick.
Man, if Garrick isn't in here, I probably take the Festive Funeral, maybe?
Yeah.
The 5 mana black removal spell.
Yeah, actually, by the way, not only is Garrick in there, but also some, from a sealed point of view, some pretty good black and green. Like you're not. It's not going to be the thing where you like have 2 Garricks and then black and green cards.
It's not. So you've got Festive Funeral, Garrick, obviously. You've got Kenrith's Transformation, which you're going to play. You're probably going to play once in future. You probably won't play Barrow Witches. You're not. We probably for 1 pack in, Beanstalk is not going to make the cut. I don't want to play Curious Pair. Honestly, it's actually just those 4 to start, which is it's not a horrible start. I mean, even if the start was just Garrick and I knew I had 5 more packs, I'm still going to lean heavy into black green. But all right, cool.
Well, we've got 5 more packs to open.
Cool game. Let's open another pack and see how this goes. All right, Cam, start us off.
Queen of Ice. 2 and a blue, you get a 2/3 Human Noble Wizard. Whenever Queen of Ice deals combat damage to a creature, tap that creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. It also comes with the Adventure Rage of Winter for 1 and a blue, which is a sorcery. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I love this card.
Yeah, this card is great.
Yeah, Olivia cosplayed as this card.
Yeah, Olivia cosplayed at the PPR. It is absolutely a card. This is definitely one of those ones where I would feel bad if I wasn't able to cast a sorcery first. But it's also just totally fine, right? It's a 2/3 for 3 that if it can deal some damage, it doesn't untap. So I am 100% down with this card.
Love it.
Cool card.
Ogre Errant, 3 and a red for a 3/4 Ogre Knight. Whenever Ogre Errant attacks, another target attacking knight gains menace until end of turn.
Yeah, again, totally fine.
Maybe this is the card you want to play with the drawbridge.
Oh, yeah, that could be interesting. But
drawbridge, 3-drop knight, 4-drop knight, attack, get menace.
Get the menace in there. It's another attack. Yeah, so it can't be itself. But yeah, I am a fan of this card. I will fully admit that like the idea of Mardu Knights is what I plan on drafting for the next 3 months. So I feel like I'm going to play this card a lot.
Also, it's Shrek.
All right, moving on. We've already talked about Fortifying Provisions in the last pack, so we will move along to
Foreboding Fruit. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. It also has Adamant. If at least 3 black mana was spent to cast the spell, create a food token. Delicious pair.
Yeah, 100% playing this card.
Yep.
Playing this card. I think we actually, during our... I missed the line, unfortunately, but I actually had the win on board by targeting my opponent with this card.
Yeah, which is an often overlooked, but, frequent, like, sometimes this is a shock.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like, Black Shock, if that's all it needs to be and that wins you the game, then it doesn't matter that they're drawing 2 cards. So always remember, target player, not just you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Next up.
Sporecap Spider. 2 and a green for a 1/5 with reach. That's it. That's no moral. That's it.
I guess. Like, it blocks flyers real well.
Yep.
Like, blocking all the way up to 4 power flyers for 3 mana is pretty good.
Yep.
I'm not excited to play it, but it probably makes it into most green decks. So, that's fine. Next up, we've got the
Golden Egg.
Golden Egg.
Everyone loves Golden Egg. For 2 mana, you get an artifact, Food. When Golden Egg enters the battlefield, draw a card. For 1 and a tap, sacrifice Golden Egg, add 1 mana of any color. For 2 and a tap, sacrifice Golden Egg, you gain 3 life. Yep, sure is.
I've seen this card played in more decks than any other card. So it might just be one of those cards that at least right now is just an auto include in your sealed or draft decks because it replaces itself. It can fix your mana and it can gain you some life. Like it just might do enough all around that it's good enough that it just gets in.
Yeah.
So
it seems adequate.
Yep. We've talked about this card already. Tall as a Beanstalk. That is the 3 and a green for the enchant creature +3/+3 and has reach. Whatever. Moving on. Here we go. Something new.
Vantress Paladin. 3 and a blue, you get a 2/2 human knight with flying. It also has Adamant. If at least 3 blue mana was spent to cast the spell, Vantress Paladin enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. So a 3/3 flyer for
for 4 mana is fine.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's right there on the vanilla test. But the fact that it's a conditional 3/3, and at best, and generally speaking, it could easily be a 2/2 for 4. I don't actually think this is all that exciting.
No.
I think there are much better blue flyers in the set that you would rather play over this card.
Agreed.
So, go for it.
Idyllic Grange, a land that is also a plains. Tap, add white. Idyllic Grange enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more planes. When Idyllic Grange enters the battlefield untapped, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
I haven't had a chance to play with this cycle of lands yet. These are the common lands, the ones that they're pretty slow. It's a tap land almost always. So yeah, I don't know. Do you like these?
I haven't really gotten a chance to play with them. I guess they really want to be in a monocolored deck. This is like, I guess I don't feel too bad about losing out on its untap clause if I just need to play this out turn 1, if it means I can get a 2-drop out on turn 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it just might be that I think I would only ever play these in decks where my mana base is something like 10-7, and I would play it on the side of obviously the 10.
Yeah.
Because I don't like this card taking one of the 7 slots, because now I only have 6 untapped of those, and that's way worse than 9.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know where this fits in. Maybe in some kind of monocolored constructed deck, but even there, the untap effect is pretty small.
Yeah. All right. One more for you.
Lochthwain Gargoyle. For 1 mana, 1 generic mana, you get an artifact Gargoyle, which is an 0/3. For 4 mana, it has the activated ability Lochthwain Gargoyle gets +2/+0 and gains flying until end of turn. Man, I love this show. Why hasn't anyone remade Gargoyles?
Didn't they try? I don't know.
Not hard enough.
All right, that's fair.
IMO. So you get a 2/3 on turn 4, a 2/3 flyer on turn 4, I guess.
Like it's a versatile blocker, right? Like it slows down things on the ground, especially if you can get this down on turn 1. And then later in the game you can jump it if need be, but
I'm not excited to be playing
I'm
this.
definitely not super excited about this card either. All right, here's a card that is kind of fun.
Spine Chaser.
Shine.
Shine Chaser.
Although,
that's a very different kind of thing.
different thing.
Yeah, very different thing. For 1 white blue, you get a fairy who is a 1/1. It has flying and critically vigilance. Well, not critically vigilance, but don't underestimate vigilance. Shine Chaser gets +1/+1 as long as you control an artifact, and gets +1/+1 as long as you control an enchantment.
So this is similar to something like Curd Ape.
Yeah.
Or Wild Nikado.
Although, like, the buy-in is much higher, but a 3/3 vigilance flyer in this format is nothing to scoff at, especially if that enchantment is an aura
Yeah.
that buffs it,
Yeah.
and the artifact is an equipment that
Yep.
also buffs it.
Yeah.
This thing will be available to attack and block thanks to vigilance. Certainly a build around, and certainly vulnerable to removal, which your opponent will prioritize against this. But I think the ceiling on this is reasonable.
All right. There you go.
Arcanus Owl. For 4 hybrid white-blue mana, you get a 3/3 artifact creature, bird. Flying. When Arcanus Owl enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or enchantment card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Well, we're clearly throwing away our 2 Garrick Golgari deck to run the blue-white artifact deck at this point.
Right, of course. I dig this card.
Yeah, I think this is a fine effect in the blue-white artifact deck.
Yeah.
Even if it's only drawing you another uncommon 4 mana 3/3 flyer. Right. Speaking of 4 mana 3/3 flyers, I vastly prefer this to the Paladin, which is probably why this is an uncommon rather than a common.
Yeah. Also, incredible art.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah.
It reminds me a bit of Clockwork Avian from Antiquities.
I don't remember that card.
It looked a bit like this, only much worse.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. Paul's going to bring that one up. See what it looks like. Or maybe he's not. Cam's probably... Oh, there it is.
I mean, wow, this card looked way different in my memory. I remember opening this as a small child and thinking, holy moly, this game is amazing.
Let's...
Maybe I was just really into dinosaurs as a child.
Yeah. All right.
How far creatures have come.
Moving on.
Trail of Crumbs. 1 and a green, you get an enchantment. When Trail of Crumbs enters the battlefield, create a food token.
Okay.
Whenever you sacrifice a food, you may pay 1 generic mana. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This seems... I have a hard time evaluating this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to die to this at some point after it draws my opponent's 5 cards.
I mean, it's like you reveal a permanent card. Like, it's like...
Land, enchantment,
creature, artifact. Yeah.
Planeswalker, this will find your Garruk.
Yeah. I think you... And it's like, it enters the battlefield, you get a food token. I mean, you definitely want to play this in a... If you're not creating a lot of food, then this card is terrible.
Maybe you play
But-
Curious Pair with this.
Yeah.
And that's your turn 3 play, is sacrificing the food, gaining 2 life, and digging for Garruk.
Fair. All right, we got our rare. It's not Garruk.
Oh.
Stone Coil Serpent. This is an X mana artifact creature snake. Reach, trample, protection from multicolor, and it enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it.
Doesn't die to Garruk.
This seems good.
Yeah. Good on turn. Good in your opening hand. Good top decked on turn 10.
Yeah.
Considering how long some of these games can go, like casting this as a 9/9 with trample and protection from whatever your opponent is splashing.
It's the fact,
seems
the
good.
fact that it has trample. An X mana, just a single X mana creature with trample is pretty sweet. So, okay, so we're playing that in my Garruk deck.
Yep.
I don't actually know if we're playing Trail of Crumbs in it, but it could be. We're definitely not playing a lot of these. We're not playing. This is actually kind of a bad. I guess we play the spider. We play the fruit. It's not great.
Yeah, we're
It's
currently
not-
up to 8 cards in our Garruk
And
deck.
like
no,
a few,
9 because we have 2 Garruks.
Yeah, and two of them are like, who knows? All right, we're gonna do one more proper crack a pack, and then we'll crack the rest of the packs for just to see what's in there and see if we would actually get the deck. All right, first card is already there. Perfect.
Rimrock Knight. Rimrock Knight can't block. It is a 3/1 for 1 and a red. It is a dwarf knight with the adventure Boulder Rush. Instant red. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
I dig this card.
Yep.
I'm not a giant fan of 3/1s. There are a lot of them running around these days. It seems like it's a pretty popular power toughness combo, especially one that can't block.
Yeah,
Like that's the joy. That's the nice thing about 3/1s is that they can trade up, and this one just can't.
Yeah, this guy is going to like hit the board. The next turn, he's going to be like Arcanite Reaper, ho, and charge across the battlefield into a 1/1.
Yeah,
Right. Like,
But-
I don't know about this guy personally. The art's fun though.
the art's fun. I like that it comes with a pretty nice combat spell. So I'll take it. Combat trick there. All right. Next up is Outflank. 1 white for an instant deals damage to target attacking or blocking creature equal to the number of creatures you control. This card is awesome.
Yeah.
This card, like I played it last night, and it's been played against me a few times, and it's always just kill a creature,
Yeah.
right? So I think this card is pretty legit.
Seems strong. I mean, yeah. White removal for 1 mana. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't say please. The worst named counterspell. I'm gonna get so tilted. This is why I don't play Paper Magic anymore.
Yep.
Because people are gonna be like, didn't say please.
And you can be like, cast this, say please. and
Yeah.
they'll still be like, didn't say please.
It's like, I swear to God.
It's cancel. It's 1 blue,
Yep.
instant counter target spell. However, it also has its controller puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard, which I don't know about. I mean, like there is this blue-black or blue mill strategy. I don't know how powerfully
it's
real it is, though.
pretty real.
Really?
And
Okay.
it feels this card, the 2 mana 5/4 flyer in blue. I can't remember what it's called, but its requirement for being able to attack is your opponent has to have 7 or more cards in their
Oh,
graveyard.
right. Yes.
And so I have both of those cards in that deck I was talking about at the start of the show. I didn't say please is really good with that card specifically. I think otherwise it's just a little bit of incidental mill, and I'll take it.
Yeah,
like I'm not going to
okay.
say no to it.
Fair enough.
Yep. All right.
Garen Brigg Carver. For 3 and a green, you get a 3/2 human warrior. That's it. But that's not just it. It also has the adventure Shield's Might. For 1 and a green, you get an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This is awfully small for a 4-mana green creature.
Yeah, I mean, you're sacrificing your creature side for a pretty okay combat trick. Not great, but +2/+2 until end of turn. I'll take it for 1 and a green at this point. But man, I really don't want to be casting a 3/2 for 3 and a green. I want to be casting a 3/2 for a 2 and a green.
Remember when we would get a wolf for this mana? Like 3 and a green, you get a Howl Pack Alpha.
Yeah.
That does a combat trick when it ETBs, but it's also a flash creature.
Yeah. Yep.
I would prefer that guy.
Yeah.
That seems good.
All right, next up we've got Festive Funeral. We've talked about this already, so we will move right along to Searing Barrage. 4 and a red for an instant, deals 5 damage to target creature, has adamant. If at least 3 red mana was spent to cast the spell, it deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. So
5 mana red burn spell.
Yeah, 5 mana red burn spell that targets only creatures, and if you've got the red mana, then you get to nug them as well, and that's great. I mean, this is removal at its finest in this day and age of Magic at common. So you're probably always going to be playing this.
Yeah.
Cool. Beloved Princess. It is a 1/1 for 1 and a white human noble. Lifelink, and it can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater.
Okay.
It's a 1/1 for 1. I know it has lifelink. I know you think it's good. It's probably not that good.
Yeah, I mean, what world are we living in where No, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it at all.
Don't like it. Got a pretty good blue removal spell here with Charmed Sleep. 1 blue, enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature does not untap during its controller's untap step. This is claustrophobia. We've seen this before. This is a functional reprint. It's a very good spell, and you should be playing it in your blue decks.
Yeah, I would absolutely play this.
Cool. Roving Keep.
For 7 generic mana, you get a 5/7 artifact wall with Defender, naturally. However, for 7 mana, or 7 generic mana, you can activate its ability, which is Roving Keep gets +2/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. It can attack this turn as though it didn't have Defender.
No. 14 mana to be able to attack with a 7/7 trample? Like, no.
I mean, maybe... No.
And then 21 if you want to do it a second time? Like, no.
Yeah, you can attack as a 9/7.
I mean, this thing blocks everything on the ground all day long, but it's 7 mana, and it just seems not great. But who knows?
Yeah, maybe... Oh, God, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. All right. Dwarven Mine. This is the red tap land. It enters the battlefield unless you control 3 or more mountains. When it enters the battlefield, untapped, create a 1/1 red dwarf creature token.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I like this more than the white one. Was the white one +1/+1 counter or +1/+1 till end of turn?
+1/+1 counter.
Okay, I like the white one more.
Yeah, I don't think a 1/1 on turn 4 is very interesting.
No.
But yeah, I guess the 1/1 counter is more impactful in white.
Yeah. We've got a fancy.
Oh, I like it.
You don't have those? So this is Shepherd of the Flock. We don't have the fancy adventure ones. But while Paul's pulling that up, it is a 3/1 human peasant for 1 and a white. And Usher to Safety is the adventure side. Instant. Return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. There it is right there. I think this card's actually pretty sweet. I certainly like this card more than the red 3/1 that we just saw.
Yeah.
The adventure is significantly better.
Yeah.
And this 3/1 can block. So I want this one.
Yeah.
This is also an uncommon, but
the art reminds me of someone. I can't quite put my finger on it. Weird. Yeah, but like Usher to Safety is great. It'll get one of your creatures out from under a Charmed Sleep or protect them from like, you know, you can chump block and then bounce it back to your hand as long as the other creature doesn't have trample.
Yeah.
Right? It seems good. Usher to Safety seems good. Shepherd of the Flock seems good. I would play this.
Yeah. Burning Yard Trainer, 4 and a red for a human knight, 3/3, trample haste. I like it already. When it enters the battlefield, another target knight you control gets +2/+2 and gains trample and haste until end of turn. This card is absurd.
I want to play Ogre Knight into Burning Yard Trainer.
Yeah.
That seems great.
This card is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to play this into gets +2/+2, and yeah, I want to play. I mean, you want to play like a creature before this.
Yep.
Obviously, in the perfect world, but even if you can't, +2/+2 and trample, ignore the haste. This thing is still a beating.
Yep.
Yeah,
I want to live
great.
in the world where I curve Ogre Knight into this thing.
Yeah, fair.
Great. I love it.
Hey, look at this.
Hey, Sir Eleonora the Discerning. For 3 blue, you get a star 4 human knight. Sir Eleonora the Discerning's power is equal to the number of cards in your hand. When Sir Eleonora enters the battlefield, draw a card. Spells your opponents cast that target Sir Eleonora cost 2 generic more to cast. Yeah, this is part of the blue-red draw 2 cards a turn deck.
Yeah, and feels really good to play it. And so it's equal number of cards in your hand. End of battle, draw a card. Yeah.
I think this feels pretty good as a 4/4.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this card a lot.
Yeah,
It's sweet. All
seems
right.
good.
So with people like this, always be careful with the combat tricks.
Yes.
Because you're casting a card out of your hand.
Yeah, it's constantly checking. So, Fervent Champion is a 1 red for a 1/1 human knight. First strike haste. Whenever it attacks, another target attacking knight you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Equip abilities you activate that target Fervent Champion costs 3 less to activate. That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, like you can. Oh God, what is the giant skewer? Is that a 2-drop, 1 and a black?
Yeah, I think so.
+3/+0 and make a food token when it, like that equips to this guy for free because that's an equip 3.
Yep.
That's a decent turn
these-
1, turn 2 play.
I mean, these last 3, like 2 cards with the Burning Yard Trainer and Champion scream Knight deck a lot. We did not get a lot.
Yeah, we got another removal spell.
We got
and
a
we got a
remo-
very medium creature out
Yeah, I don't know. This is. I'm actually.
It's just getting a little concerning.
I'm starting to actually be a little happier now. Okay, so I'm gonna crack these real quick.
Yeah, could you imagine opening 2 Garrux and just not having a green-black pool to support them?
Oh, I mean, this is what we're getting here. Okay, so looking at. Okay, so we've got Curious Pair again. I'm just looking at blue-black right now. So we've got another Curious Pair.
Green-black,
sorry. We've got Lost Legion, which I would play. I'm not super excited about it, but I'll play it. Okay, this feels good. Fierce Witch Stalker, 2 green for a 4/4 with trample, enters the battlefield, create a food token. That's going to get in.
You're definitely creature light now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Prophet of the Peak, 6 mana, 5/5 when it enters the battlefield, scry 2. I'm probably going to play that. Feeling a little bit better.
Hey, it's the Green Knight.
Got the Green Knight, 4/2 haste. When you gain life for the first time each turn, return it from your graveyard to your hand. I'll play it. And then, we didn't get anything else. Our rare is Worthy Knight. So, man, a red-white, maybe even a red-black-white Mardu Knight deck is actually looking more attainable than this green-black Garrick deck. But let's see how we do in this next pack. All right, we've got a Fairy Godmother, Run Away Together, Paladin. All right, we've got the Rosethorn Acolyte. Which is the Mana Dork adventure card, which is going to get played. We've got the Tempting Witch. Enters the battlefield, create a food token. It's a 1/3 for 3. Sacrifice a food. Target player loses 3 life.
I really want her scarf.
Her little weird, oh god.
Her hands.
Hand scarf.
Yeah.
Wolf's Quarry. 4 green, create 3 1/1 green boar token creatures with when this creature dies, create a food token. I would play that.
Yeah, 3 little pigs.
Yep. Smitten Swordmaster. Again, fits a little bit better into the Knight's deck, but I'm going to play it in this Garrett deck. Perfect. Okay, feeling a little bit better now because we finally got that baked into a pie. 2 black, instant destroy target creature, create a food token. This is the premium black common removal. Spinning Wheel. Yeah, I mean, it at least fits in the deck.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm excited to play it, but we're gonna.
It's one of the few fixing in the entire set, though.
Yeah. Cauldron's Gift is a lot of fun. 4 and a black. Adamant. If at least 3 black mana were spent to cast the spell, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. You may choose a creature card in your graveyard. If you do, return it to the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. This card's very good.
I'm actually feeling much more like a Jund deck with a green splash for Garrick.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. Linden, the Steadfast Queen. 3 white. White. 3/3 vigilance. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. That certainly is not getting in here. And hey, look at this. A foily 7 dwarves. Neat. Last pack. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get there.
Unless
you're getting split into the night deck too. It's just not perfect.
We've got a Lash of Thorns, which is a pretty decent combat trick. 1 black for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+1 and death touch until end of turn. Mm-hmm. We have the Rose Thorn Halberd, which is a green equipment. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to a non-human creature. +2/+1, and equip cost is 5, which is a lot. Mm-hmm. Good, we're not playing these. Okay, we've got the Paladin. 3 and a black for a 3/2 menace creature. It has adamant. If at least 3 black mana was spent to cast a spell, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it.
I didn't like this when it was a menace pirate.
Yeah.
With Explore.
I'm still playing it.
I guess
it gets in.
I guess we're sleeving it up.
So does Ginger Brute probably. 1 mana for a 1/1 food golem haste. Pay 1, can't be blocked this turn except for by creatures with haste, or 2 and sacrifice it. You gain 3 life.
Frequently unblockable.
Okay. Okay. I mean, Flaxen Intruder is great. It's a 1/2 for 1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. And when you do, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And Welcome Home casts for 7, 5 green, sorcery, create 3 2/2 green bear tokens.
It's a very weird card.
It's a very weird card, but I'm playing it.
I like that she's a berserker.
And then we have this other, I think we have a pretty solid red-white night deck with Sir Alan the Lion's Claw. Our rare in this pack is Castle Ardenvale, based off of Minas Tirith, and really good. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control planes. It taps for a white mana, and then for 2 white, tap to create a 1/1 white human creature token. Any card that allows you to do that, generally speaking, in limited, is quite good. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sign off, and then I'm going to sit here and build the deck, and then I'm going to take a picture of it, and we'll attach that to description below. So if you want to see the deck that Cam can help me build and figure out what this looks like, again, click on the description below, and we'll send you to a little picture link of the deck that we ended up coming up with.
Yeah, I'm just imagining your PPR deck tech being like, so I opened two Garricks,
yeah,
but I'm not playing them.
Yeah.
Maybe we're in Mardu splashing green for Garrick, like off the egg.
Yeah. Okay.
You actually have for the set that doesn't have much fixing. We've got
some fixing.
You've got the egg. You got the spinning wheel. You got the rose thorn guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's green, so that doesn't really actually help you, but
we can splash for him.
We'll make it happen. All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Tap Tap Concede. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun cracking all these packs. Mm-hmm. We will be back next week with another episode talking about something. Who knows? We'll find out when we get there. My guess is we will also probably announce the Throne of Eldraine nickname submissions. Try to get that figured out in the next week so we can open those up as soon as possible and record that later in October. Cam, thanks for hanging out, cracking packs with me.
Thank you for inviting me on the podcast. It's always a pleasure.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Card Kingdom, cardkingdom.com/LRR. Again, apply that affiliate code, go buy a whole bunch of stuff, tell them that we came. We would really appreciate it. They're great. Use them. Heart you, Card Kingdom, a kingdom of cards. And of course, all of you over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. We couldn't do any of this without the just mad support that you give us there, whether it's there or here on YouTube, on the Lure MTG channel, or our normal channel, or our VOD channel, or over on Twitch. all the places where you can watch and support us. We really appreciate it. So thank you so much. I'm James.
I've been Cameron.
He's been Cameron. Paul's over on the board. Heather gets these things edited and up. So thanks to everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.